Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for patiently waiting for the beginning of round number 3 in our Challenger Cup Group A qualifier here today. It has so far been predictable, I think would be the right word. Radar, what do you think? What do you say?
I mean, looking at the scoreboards, there's been 1 or 2 upsets, but, generally, yeah, predictable. I mean, OJC getting demolished 4-1 in the last series was unexpected, but...
Yeah.
But some surprises as well, and please don't take it the wrong way. Brothers in Arms doing another great showing. I think they've had 2 4-0s now.
Wow.
No, sorry, a 4-2 and a 4-0.
Yeah.
No, sorry, and a 5-1 against OJC. So they destroyed OJC 5-1 in the last series. But Brothers in Arms coming out like a team that I would not have thought would be showing as much dominance as they are so far. Please don't take that the wrong way.
It's...
Maybe I'm ignorant.
We have our expectations set. You know, we've watched teams at the high level. We've watched squads like ALG, Dead Logic, OJC. We've seen them play and know what they're capable of. I don't think I've had enough, opportunities to watch a lot of Brothers in Arms games this season, and for them to be doing so well, it's the excitement of the Challenger Cup, the unknown, the factors that maybe we can't necessarily predict. Really curious to see how this squad goes up against ALG, because ALG are also undefeated. They have not lost yet in this Challenger Cup, and so we've got 2 undefeated squads going at it. I think we also have Dead Logic going up against someone that's undefeated. And over on Master League 1, I know OJC is playing as well. So all of our sort of focal teams are getting the attention that we expected them to get, I suppose. But we're ready, and we're doing it. Round 1, firing up ALG on the offense.
Yep, Suburbia, Brothers in Arms, Aimless Gaming, Aimless Gaming on the attack on South Objective, which is one of the easier ones to defend, I'd argue. Although maybe all the North Street ones are easy to defend. I don't know. I can never get my head around Suburbia. After all this time, I still feel like a complete noob on this map whenever I play it.
Yeah, that back garage OBJ, I agree with you. It's certainly one of the more defensible ones. You can tuck into a bunch of variety of positions. You can get a bit of a forward defense set up in that middle house if you so desire. You can also get a little forward over on the south as one goes down on Burning. An early pickup by John, and that's going to open up all kinds of movement, because this whole east side has really become a more popular side for teams to rotate through.
So interestingly, I mean, John CZ getting a tight angle. Like, I guy must have been peeking a little bit over too much, but must have caught a tight angle to catch it. Nadu getting Josh Smith with a grenade, finishing him off with bullets.
And now if you're Muppet, you're a little bit concerned. A nice kill across the way, a trade into the center, and now it's only a 2v4.
Definitely not looking good for Brothers in Arms at the moment as they go down to 1 defender. The guy on the objective.
They have full control. They have absolute full control of this OBJ. Granted, Bizachu is in the best spot he can be right now. He can defend the objective from the inside. He can defend that back-end rotation. I do believe there's an option to push into the house and cap around a corner, but still, he can check that window and deny that from coming through, too.
So here's one thing you might not have considered, is you can cap from upstairs.
Oh, I did forget about that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so if somebody does make that push, Bizachu cannot stop it. Bizaku? Anyway, the point is that if they manage to get someone... the key thing is that to get that cap, they'd have to push into the front of the house. And that's where Bez might pick them up. Which looks like what Soda might be trying to do.
Soda, could have potentially...
He goes for the kill instead?
Yeah, he could have threaded that needle. He could have gone into that house, gone up those stairs, and then right where you were saying, punching in that code there behind the eyes of the defense. But what we do tend to see at the the top 10 sort of level is teams just getting their W's. You know what I mean? We have seen some great caps, but when the pressure's on, when you're going up against another undefeated team, when you're trying to lock in a round 3 and really get yourself set up for a very good position for round 4, you're just going to take what you can get, right? I think that's what we typically see, at these higher levels, and that's why it's exciting when we see those caps, because it takes so much gusto to go for those.
Oh yeah. Especially when that the last as you say, and it gets even more risky when it's like a 1 versus 2 or something like that, and you know that you've got so much riding on you, like taking out that last guy. 1 versus 4 situation, I would have expected Soda to go for it, but like you said, you're just guaranteeing that point. You're guaranteeing that point rather than risking it all for 2.
Yeah. It's interesting because I would argue that Marsoc points are not necessarily hard to come by on Suburbia. I could understand getting that sort of lockdown on a downfall or a Q1. Hey, take the risk. It's of course. Hey, look, I'm not the one that's out there competing for $15,000 in prizing. Right? I'm just here watching and enjoying. So my heart rate doesn't necessarily get as elevated. And again, it's that tunnel vision. It's hard to combat. You have to really have a lot of experience working with tunnel vision to recognize it and avoid it.
Yeah. Yep. And I constantly see teams either top brackets doing, getting tunneled in time and time again.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing we can say is coming out of that round 1 is that Aimless Gaming swept up Brothers in Arms. Brothers in Arms on the back foot here is going. I know they're only 1 point down, but like psychologically, they have to bounce back and appreciate that it's just 1 round, despite the fact that it felt very, very one-sided. You see a very aggressive push from Aimless Gaming into the middle house to hold that center area of the map. Captain Soda holding the east, and the other 2 remaining defenders in the south. Virus picking up Deal Team 6 in the center. Oh!
Chaos in middle house on the stairs there. The kill comes in, the confirm call out comes in, and John thought it was a confirm from the enemy. So he swings, guns blazing, and takes down one of his own, and it's a 4-4 trade as we get another trade on the other east side.
Wow, so 3-3 now with that unfortunate team kill. Trade, and the east side is now open with 1 defender in the center and still 2 holding that back line.
I think the setup is what they need. They have all those angles we talked about last round covered. They have their garage, they have their inside entry point at the stairs, and they have that 2-story still locked in. Things become dicey if they lose that 2-story, so we'll see if the Brothers in Arms invest in trying to take that.
Yeah, they'll need to dislodge John CZ if they want to push for the objective realistically.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. If they just leave him there, he has backs, to him, and it's an easy couple of kills if they forget about clearing that out.
One thing I will say though is that John CZ that's a really tenuous position to be in. John CZ's without anyone covering his 6, without having knowing Nadu and Seaquick have the stairs locked down. It's really hard to hold upstairs and try and cover the actual approaches to the objective. So it can be very, if you choose the right timing and you put some pressure on the streets and force John to look out, then he can be very easy to rush. If Nadu and Quick don't have his back. Seaquick. Shank him up it. That's the name I don't feel like I've ever said out loud in real life before.
I was looking at it. I was just going with Muppet. But your pronunciation is definitely right. We'll see if he does do any sort of shanking here, as he might have a knife opportunity if he wanted it inside this 2-story. It would be quite a gutsy move, but
it's been a quiet minute, and I feel like it's going to be Seaquick that has. It's been Seaquick who I feel like has been the opportunity to get some picks here, but that line of sight just hasn't opened up. So who knows? Maybe it'll be Shank him up it versus John CZ. John CZ seems to be locked in on defending those stairs. He's heard the footsteps. He knows he's in trouble.
And you have your
I say locked in.
Rotating in from the east. He's got behind those sandbags. He's pushed up pretty far. And so if they time this right, distract John on the entry inside, Vadi could push in here, and John isn't going to notice this. To your point, John's covering different angles right now.
Seaquick taking down Shank him up it, bringing John CZ to cover an angle, but John is not. I don't think he has line of sight on Irivati anymore.
I don't think so either. Seaquick sir does.
Seaquick does. Wow. Wow, so important that Irivati was in a really key position to make a potential push. As a Chew picking up Seaquick though. It's 1 versus 2. As a Chew, if he can dislodge John CZ, still has a chance.
Lots of time too. 1.5 on the clock. Bez can play it how he wants. He doesn't have to be rushed or forced out just yet.
No, but he has been called out. Unfortunately for him, he has been called out.
Nardu's lasered in on this stairs too.
Oh. John panicking as he sees a teammate near the uplink.
That's information for Bez to work with, and now Bez has gotten a little too quick. Audio cues coming in on the crouch. John
I don't think John CZ reacted to it. No.
Now behind the house.
So this is interesting. Bez using the information conveyed by John about Nardu being there to his advantage was dialed in there. Didn't get the kill, but he knows where both of these defenders are right now. 35 on the clock.
Yeah, this is getting into dangerous time territory. If he had another minute to play with, he could really capitalize off this, but time is against him right now, as he did get injured. Time's ticking down.
Yeah.
John CZ making lots of noise, tactically or otherwise.
Oh, there's one. Is he going to push in? He's going to go for the kill. No cap in hand. He knows his time limit's out. And John's tucking in. John knows it's close. This is going to come down to a 5-second left on the clock. Is he going to get there in time? Rounds the corner to the
No!
trade.
Oh, unfortunate. Bez making the right move, but just failing on the pickup as John comes round with 4 seconds left on the clock. That could have gone either way. What a great ending to that round.
That was a close one. That's for sure. I can't believe that just happened. That was an excellent bit of work there to drop in on that corner and tuck in and avoid that potential kill on the stairwell. He got things into his advantage where he could then swing and sort of surprise the attacker in that doorway, and a good bit of work there from ALG to hang on. But geez, Brothers in Arms bringing it down to a 1v1.
Absolutely, and Bez really, when it was down to 3 versus 1 against Bez, I thought it was over, and he almost brings it back. And if it wasn't for John's next level play there, and I say next level, I mean, he heard him coming, and like you said, he tucked in. Bez came around pre-firing, expect John to be around that corner, and John just was not where he was expecting him to be.
Yeah, very solid plays out of Bez there, using all the information he was given to his advantage, you know, making sure he knew where those players were. He heard the audio comms of a call out on objective, and he finds that kill.
Could have gone in a different situation. If John hadn't suspected or heard the push coming his way, then Bez potentially could have picked him up. But John played it exactly right. He must have had an accurate kill count, knew the last guy was punching him, and was happy to leave the objective wide open.
Yeah, you're right. There's no way you do that if you think that isn't the last guy. You know, you don't just completely abandon coverage on an objective after losing the guy on objective. And so again, you know, something to point out that we haven't really talked about is the comms is vital, you know, at this higher level. And if you're communicating, I got this one, as soon as you get a kill, oftentimes you'll hear players go, I got one. And yeah, it can give away your position, but the relay of information is almost more important.
Oh yeah, it's and especially, I mean, I find that myself when I'm in a key position, when I'm pushed up on the enemy and I've killed 1 or 2 enemies, but I'm near the objective, I'm internally at war with myself, going, I need to tell them that there's 2 guys dead, but at the same time, I'm really in a really great position here, and if I say anything, I'm going to be giving up that clear advantage I have.
Right.
But that key information might make the difference if I die. So, what do I do? What do I do?
You add all of that on to the being in the moment, the pressure of it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's a lot to, and then play the game. There's a lot of processing going on, and we're going to see an early push here.
Right. Aggressive defense coming out of Brothers in Arms. I like it. I like it a lot. Although Deal Team 6 may be overstretching. Maybe not.
Yeah, because they don't know that this is an enemy. There's no time to check pad. Sequix thinks this is a friendly.
Didn't even stop for a second to suspect that might not be a friendly coming through behind him.
It took a while for Nardu to rotate too. Down he goes, trying to call that out. Suppressive fire ringing in, and suddenly ALG are attacking.
Iris making the right move there and dealing with Team 6.
You had to do that. That was vital. I mean, what a wild rotation. To get in there like that and find those kills. Smart play, because you're working off the audio cues so early there that ALG thought it was a friendly and didn't even react.
No, and the res on Nardu coming out now. Interesting grenade landing on top of 2-story there. Really, probably did not going exactly where he wanted to go. So interestingly, Captain Soda now in an aggressive position on the east side. The rest of the team a bit out of sync with him. I don't think he's aware, but he's not going to be getting his support. Oh, as Bez sees Soda, it's a trade. Soda is resable. Somebody needs to double tap that kill.
I'm down lane 4. I got one.
They do have Shankum up it, who can get that line of sight, and if John goes for this res, it's a bit of a risk, but he doesn't have to fully peek, and there's the quick reshots coming in from Muppet. So honestly, kind of a good outcome there, because you catch out an investment. Ooh, as Josh is pushing.
Grenade picks up John Smith, though. Nadu getting the res on Virus, returning the favor. Nadu now going to be able to come around on Erivati. Do they know he's there? Do they realize there is a second Brothers in Arms player on this aggressive defensive position? I don't feel like Nadu has any ideas. Erivati picks up Virus. Confirmation coming out on Josh. Now 2 versus 2. Erivati telling everyone where he is, but Nadu just does not know how to react.
I mean, the chess match that we're seeing right here. Nardu ducking behind the Hesco crates because he knows Vadi's through the shrubs. The shots coming through the shrubs, just going over his head. The callouts, all of the positioning, really interesting move from Brothers in Arms here to try and catch them out early. And we're into the 2v2.
Overstate. I mean, but Erivati's overstayed his welcome. He's made so much noise there now. There can be no doubt. He's not right. Nadu hears him. Comes out firing the moment Erivati made that noise. Nadu was ready for it, and it goes down to a 1 versus 2 now for Brothers in Arms on the receiving end of that.
Really solid read there off of the audio cues. Knew he was right around the corner. A good nade, a fantastic nade at what is a common position. Finds nothing.
I do not envy Shankum Muppet right now.
I like his position, though. It seems to be a decent one. It's certainly risky, but at this point, you kind of want to have a little risk in your positioning, because if you go down, at least it's not a cap, and he's on OBJ, so his job is to really just prevent this cap from coming in at this point.
True, but the 2-0 down, and there it is, Nadu picking up Shanka as Aimless Gaming go 3-0 up. Anything but an easy victory for them, though, on that round.
Brothers in Arms have made nearly every step of this road so far a challenge for ALG, but ALG have been pushing through. Every map they've played so far, they have been the dominant opponent, and I really think we're probably going to get down to an ALG Dead Logic round 4 that's going to decide who our Group A champion is.
And I'm looking forward to that matchup, if that's the matchup we get, of course.
Sure.
But no, hey, listen, look, it's not over yet. Brothers in Arms could still pull this back. I've seen greater upsets in my time.
Yeah, watched plenty of comebacks from that 3-0 before. It's very possible, and it's just, again, a matter of your mental fortitude. You've been through 2 hours of games already, arguably taking maybe longer than you had hoped with some downtime. Can you stay focused enough to realize that you can rally here? Or maybe our Brother in Arms sort of... I don't. If you're 2-0 right now, yeah, you really got to stay locked in. This is still the Challenger Cup in Brothers in Arms' grasp, really. It's not out of reach. If they lose this one, then things become a little bit tougher. But if they can snag this series, I mean, they're going to be the ones that are competing for that Group A spot.
Absolutely, and what we need to see come out of Brothers in Arms now is a Hail Mary. They need to... Yep. I mean, you can play the long, slow game and try and get point back, and win that way, or you can try and go all out and try and go for a balls to the wall and go for that cap,
Yeah, absolutely. It's it takes a lot of...
Gotta be a low graphic setting or
like I said, a lot of mental fortitude to do that. You have to really be locked in and aware of what you're doing and accepting of the risk, at this point. You're down 3-0, and yeah, I agree. I think to catch ALG out would be huge, but ALG are looking to shut this one down with a bit of an aggressive defense of their own.
Nadu taking exactly the same position that we saw Erivati. So are we going to see Erivati prepping to take that position out? Oh, Bezachu coming out his line of fire and immediately taken down by Nadu.
boxes spot.
Familiar with that spot as they call it out, and it's a common position, honestly, at this point. Teams have been taking it pretty consistently because it's so hard to uproot. Another goes down to Nardu.
I don't see how Nadu was able to get away with this. They even called out his exact position. If I was Erivati, I would have just walked up to that fence and just fired straight into in between the Escos. Wow, Nadu's understanding of the sound around him is excellent. John picking him up though.
Yeah, solid job from Josh there to finally get that kill. Shuts down what could have been a much worse outcome for Brothers in Arms, and now they're into the 3v4, so things still okay as John finds Deal Team 6 from the back end. It becomes a 4v2.
Deal Team 6 is resable though. But Soda getting out of flash may push in to get the... Yeah, he's going to get the tap as he goes around. Bit of a risky move there for Captain Soda, but pays off in the end at 4-2 and denying a res potential.
Body's here on objective side, throwing rounds downrange at Virus. John seems to be keyed in, but Vadi is safe behind these sandbags.
Yeah, but John's got a tight line on the left-hand side. Wow, John ducking underneath shots there. That was very, both lucky and unlucky. I mean, Irvadi couldn't have known he was there. Getting some pre-fire down the range, which almost catches John. Return frag comes in, and it lands. It's a good one. Wow, great grenade coming out from John CZ there.
Is just far away enough from those bags to be effective at the chest up, you know, and he didn't tuck in when he heard that nade land, so ends up catching the upper torso. Down he goes. He is resable, but Josh it doesn't seem to be rotating, and Brothers in Arms not picking up reses that could save them. Probably coming down to the 1v1 against Soda.
Yeah, Josh, oof. I mean, again, it's a tough call to make, but again, you are not over... He's not overstretched, right? He could fall back quite safely.
Yep.
And get, you know, it was a grenade that downed his teammate. It wasn't a flank. So with that knowledge that it wasn't a flank that downed your teammate, I would be in Josh's shoes, and of course I have the beauty of having the God's eye view here, but at the end of the day, I think I would be going for the res right now in his shoes. And he looks like he might be doing exactly that, albeit quite trepidatiously.
You can take your time, but you can't take too much. Players bleed out after about a minute and a half or 2 minutes, and right now Vadi is bleeding out. So if Josh doesn't get up there and get that res in about another minute's time, it's going to be a kill.
Yeah, Josh just repositioning here. I thought he was going to be going back for the res, but it doesn't look like that's exactly what he's doing. He's just repositioning to go back on the aggressive. Really, I don't understand that play, but again, maybe he missed that there was a res available. Maybe he thinks it's 1 versus 4. Or maybe he just thinks that... And there it is, Aimless Gaming taking another 4-0. Can anyone stop them?
I don't know, man. They haven't necessarily gone up the likes of OJC yet in this series, but... Yeah, I don't know what to expect here. Brothers in Arms just beat OJC, right?
That's exactly right. They beat them 5-1, so I don't know. I mean, very different play styles, though.
True. Yeah, very, very true, which does result in, you know, wild outcomes. And hey, part of the Challenger Cup vibe, right? We know it's why teams don't want to necessarily be down in here, because it's volatile. Anything could happen. So teams that you don't expect to win could win. You could lose a map and be out. There's a lot of possibilities here in this Challenger Cup, and it's hard to work your way through it.
Yep, and again, a lot of unknowns, teams you don't ever face. So,
yeah.
You're always going into this situation where you're playing a team that might be, you know, many ranks above you, therefore you just wouldn't get matched against, or across the pond. So unless you do a challenge match, you know, you're playing EU versus the US. It's lots of. That's why I love these games, you know, just because you're throwing so many random kind of different encounters that you wouldn't normally see.
Yeah. Yeah. Exciting set there. Solid performance from ALG. We're getting few other reports in, and so we might head to another game. We're going to cut to a brief intermission while we sort that out, though. So stick around. There may be more action here in just a few moments, and if not, make sure you're watching the multi-streams. We got action live on Master League 1 and 3 right now. So, thank you all for tuning in. We'll be right back with more Onward.